Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller prospecting, and it's Paydirt battle time again. Now, last year I reviewed a bag of KleshGold's raw Paydirt, and I got really upset in that video. Not because it was a really crappy bag of Paydirt, even though it was. No, I got extremely upset because this Paydirt was being sold by a YouTube influencer who makes content reviewing Paydirt supposedly to educate his viewers to help them avoid crappy Paydirts, like this one. Now, of course, as soon as my video released, I got a ton of angry comments from people who said things like, I was jealous, that it had an ulterior motive, or I was doing the video to gain views, none of which were true. I did it to give you the facts and to review a bag of Paydirt. And of course, I had lots of comments stating it was a raw bag of Paydirt with no guaranteed set amount of gold, and that he had a warning telling buyers there was no minimum amount of gold. But what they failed to mention is he also says right after that he can't guarantee a maximum amount of gold either. In other words, what he's saying is there might not be any gold, but there also might be a huge amount of gold. This is the exact same tactic that GoldNPaydirt uses, but in reverse, where they say you could find a huge amount of gold, but then right after that put in a disclaimer telling you that there's no guarantee and you might only find a tiny bit of gold. Which is why in my review of Klesh's raw bag of Paydirt, I said it was worse than GoldNPaydirt because both are crappy, but Klesh has a platform that he uses to convince people his Paydirt is good and how you should avoid the bad sellers like GoldNPaydirt. Which brings me to last month when I saw I got a comment from A. Johnson Jr. Well, actually, he was really drinking his Klesh Kool-Aid that day because he posted 7 angry comments about me, and you can see those right here. Well, this is actually 5 of them. Because he also made a comment he was so proud of, he made twice. And let's post those up there. I challenge you to find a $19 bag of GoldNPaydirt to even compare the two. You probably won't do it. And like his other comments, he was 100% wrong. So I went out and had a secret shopper pick up a $20 bag of Klesh's raw Paydirt and a $20 bag of GoldNPaydirt, both off of eBay. And we're going to battle them today to see which one is really the crappier of the two crappy Paydirts. So without any more ranting, let's flash up the descriptions for both these bags of Paydirt, go to the overhead and check them out a little bit closer. As you saw, neither one of these have really good descriptions, even though they're both very, very wordy. For the KleshPaydirt, for the raw Paydirt, it tells you where the dirt is from, how difficult it will be, and how much the bag weighs. For the GoldNPaydirt, he tells you how much the Paydirt weighs, and everything else is very vague. The gold is from everywhere, the Paydirt is from everywhere, so not very much information other than that it is 2 ounces of Paydirt. So let's weigh these both up. The Klesh says it is 3 ounces or less. He's pretty approximate on that. So let's weigh it up and see. So 1.3 ounces, less than half of 3. So I don't know. It is less than 3, but pretty low. The GoldNPaydirt is 2.2 ounces. They both do come with advertisements for themselves, so you can get a discount if you like this Paydirt so much. We'll open them up, check them out a little bit. We are definitely not going to classify these because there's really not much material here. And it looks like GoldNPaydirt has changed their material again. This is not the typical stuff I've seen. This is very, very white, like crushed quartz, I don't know. They change their Paydirt material all the time. And we'll open up the Klesh. Cut it a little bit more. So there we go. There's the Klesh. We will rinse out both these bags just to make sure there's no material caught in them. There's the Klesh. It's very staticky. But let's check them for magnetite to see if there's anything magnetite in either one of these. There's a little bit in the Klesh. That's actually a pretty good amount for such a little bit of material. Nothing for the GoldNPaydirt. This, I don't even know what this material is. Now, since neither one of these bags of Paydirt have a guaranteed set amount of gold, the only way to find out how much gold they do have is to pan them out. So let's go do just that. I'm going to start with the GoldNPaydirt and then pan out the Clash. So let's get to it and listen to some music.
Another Saturday night alone with the two of you. I'm stuck. No car and I don't have a license anyway. Shake the dregs of a dime bag on a torn piece of zigzag. Light up, take a drag, slip outside. I'll be looking under stars tonight. I know deep inside I'm bracing for a fight. Pretty soon I'm gonna fly away. Till then I'm just trying to keep the hurt at bay. He's there, glaring at her eyes so hard and critical. I dare to stare right back at him on her behalf. I'm the last of the four kids, and I'm keeping my own list of the things that I promise I won't miss. I'll be talking under stars tonight. I know deep inside I'm bracing for a fight. Pretty soon I'm gonna fly away. Till then I'm just trying to keep the hurt at bay. Will I be in 20 years, stuck in a loop out of ideas? Is this how it starts to wanna play a part in this misery? How will I ever get away? You're in my bones, my DNA. Don't wanna see this anger come over me the way it's in you.
Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and both of those were really easy to pan out. I will say the Clash was probably the harder of the two, but they were both, again, really easy. And the gold I found, there you go. This is from the GoldNPaydirt, and this one is from the Clash. So let's weigh them up, see how much gold I recovered. And again, these were both $20 bags of Paydirt. So GoldNPaydirt, 20 bucks. 0.1 gram. For the Clash raw bag, which is again $20, 0.020. So about a fifth of what I got from GoldNPaydirt. All right, finished calculating my ROIs, writing up my reviews, and let's see who won this battle. Now, again, I went through a raw bag of Paydirt from KleshGold and a 2-ounce bag from GoldNPaydirt. And let's flash up the stuff on the screen right here. And there we go. Now, neither bag was guaranteed any set amount of gold. They both cost $20. Zero shipping, $20. Now, with the The gold spot for both bags was $87.32. These were ordered at the exact same time off of eBay, so they both had the exact same ROI. Now, the gold I recovered from both bags was 0.020 from Klesh and 0.100 from GoldNPaydirt, which means the gold I found was worth $1.75 from Klesh and $8.73 from GoldNPaydirt, giving me ROIs of 8.75% and 43.65%. So the GoldNPaydirt is about 4 to 5 times better than the KleshGold. Now, for fun factor, I'm going to give them the exact same score as their ROIs. They didn't do anything to wow me. They didn't really do anything to take away from being crappy Paydirts, but so 0.9 for KleshGold and a 4.4 for GoldNPaydirt. For descriptions, I'm going to give Klesh the win on this one. He does have a better description than GoldNPaydirt because he does tell you where the material is from and stuff like that, a little bit better than GoldNPaydirt. But neither one has a very good description. It's mostly hyperbole, just talking about what you could find, what you might find, and things like that. And whenever a seller does that, you usually don't find anything like that. For quantity and packaging, the win is going to go to GoldNPaydirt. Now, the quantity for Klesh, even though he does say less than 3 ounces, getting 1.3 isn't really close to that. He could have said less than 2 ounces. He could have said less than 1.5. It's just too vast of America. It's just too vast of an amount. You could have got one little speck of dirt, and that's less than 3 ounces. So I didn't like that. I think he should clarify, even if he says 2 to 3 ounces, I could totally understand that. It is always going to vary on what you can stuff into a bag, but that's just, I don't like that. So he's getting a 6 for that. He's getting an 8 for packaging because it does come in the coffee bags, but it wasn't double bagged. Whereas with the GoldNPaydirt, it was the 2 ounces he stated, and it comes in really thick Mylar bags now. He used to give you really, really cheap bags and they'd be double bagged, but they were really, really cheap. But these are actually really thick bags and they're double bagged. So he's getting a 9 for that. So total scores for KleshGold is a 7 and a 9.5 for GoldNPaydirt. For customer service and shipping, Klesh wins again with an 8 and a 10. His customer service was spot on. I think it took him the next day or the day after that. It was really good customer service. The shipping, and not only was the label printed the day of purchase, but it also went in the mailbox that day. So it shipped out the exact same day. GoldNPaydirt took about a week for them to reply to a secret shopper's email, and it went out the following day. So they're getting a little bit less than that. So they're getting a 9. So total score for KleshGold is a 9. And a 6.5 for GoldNPaydirt, giving total scores of a 4.4 for KleshGold and a 5.4 for GoldNPaydirt. So AJ Johnson Jr., I did the battle like you requested, and not only did GoldNPaydirt get a higher score, but they also got a much higher ROI. So would I order either one of these bags again? And most definitely no. I would not order from either one of these companies. Even though the GoldNPaydirt, this bag was actually a decent bag at a 44% ROI, as a whole, the company is just a horrible company where they do things where they try to convince you that you could get a 2-ounce nugget, 1-ounce nugget, a hoard of gold, all these things that you really can't win because in the disclaimer, they state that there's 30,000, 3,000, 5,000 bags made. And then they pull them off their website really quickly. So you know that they probably didn't sell all 5,000 bags. So you really had no chance of winning those. GoldNPaydirt has some really nasty and horrible tactics to try and sell you Paydirt. So I wouldn't recommend buying from them. Wasn't a bad bag of Paydirt. It was much better than the Klesh bag, but I still wouldn't buy them. Now for the Klesh, this raw bag of Paydirt is just a stinker. It is a huge pile of crap, and I would never, ever suggest anyone buy this. If you want some raw Paydirt, go in your backyard, scoop some dirt, throw it in a shovel, into a pan, and pan that out. You're just saving 20 bucks. I wouldn't even recommend any of Klesh's Paydirts. I went through his list, and as of today, his 1 gram bag of Paydirt, you would only get about a 63% ROI. And if you go to my website at millerprospecting.com, I have a top 10, and I think the minimum you would get from any of those 10 is probably an 80 to 85% ROI. So it's just not worth it to buy from Klesh. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you want to support this channel, you can go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/Miller Prospecting and get a chance to not only win this gold, but some other gold for my other reviews as well.